everybody? Henry Johnson here, Digital Home. And today I want to start a new series. So, as you guys know, I'm a home automation, smart home integrator. And every day, every week, I'm always learning a ton of new stuff about this industry. Some of you may know my background. I joined my father's company about a year ago. He's been doing it for 15 plus years at this point. So I'm doing a lot of catching up, right, in terms of learning. He knows a ton, top 1% in the world in terms of his knowledge of the stuff. But me, I'm probably no more than 90% of people because they're, novice. They're not in the industry. But in terms of catching up to the people in the industry, I think it's really important for me to always be studying my craft. So with that, I'm always reading different websites like CNET, CE Pro, Residential Systems, et cetera, listening to podcasts, IoT podcasts, Home Tech Pros, etc., to learn about what's going on. And with that, I'm always learning, the new things happening in the industry. So today I wanted to start a series that's going to be called Super Week in Smart Homes, also known as Swish. Thought that was clever. So I'm just going to give you guys updates on what's kind of going on in the industry. Try to make this a every week thing. Since I'm reading it every week, the challenge would mostly just be getting in front of a camera every week. Make sure I'm buying a camera, etc. So let's start with this week. This first episode will probably go back further than a week a little bit, just because there's been some interesting things happening in the industry in the last 2-3 weeks. I'll try not to go back more further than that, because if you don't know about it now, you probably don't care. So I'll start with, since I'm an integrator and we are a big Savant dealer, I'll start with what's happening with Savant. So they just released their Savant 8.6 app. It's an update to their previous app. So they were on 8.5. Now they released 8.6. With 8.6, there's some new things coming, but what I thought was the most interesting was that they have something now called smart bulbs. And essentially what smart bulbs are is they give you the ability to change the lights within your light bulb, right? It's kind of like what Philips Hue has been doing for a while now, but within the Savant ecosystem. And it being within the Savant ecosystem gives you the ability to control it all from one central place, whereas Philips Hue, you control it from their app and pretty much their app only. I'm probably biased because I'm an integrator, and I think that having a single app is a lot better. It's just more seamless. It makes life easier than having the 10 remote problem that we all had back when we had VCRs, right? You had the VCR remote, you had the cable remote, the TV remote, the receiver, etc. I feel like we're starting to see a lot of that in the smart home area, where you have your light bulbs, you have your TV, you have your Apple TV, you have your thermostat, etc. You have your door lock, and now you just have a folder full of apps. What I like about what Savant's doing here is that they're bringing in what's one of the hottest parts of the smart home into their ecosystem, so that you control it through their app. But also they are going to have their own singular app in it, so that people can start with the smart bulbs and then evolve into being a full Savant home. So I think it's a really interesting concept that they're approaching this with, and look forward to seeing what comes from that. Number 2 is the Amazon Echo releases. So there were a bunch the last few weeks. I think they came out with 4 new products. I'm not going to talk about all of those. I think there's been a lot of talk about those on different podcasts, different blogs, because it was very hot. What I think is interesting that I don't think has gotten a lot of talk about is that Amazon Echo has now enabled the ability to do voice recognition. So doesn't sound like that big of a thing, but I think it is, just for the simple fact that so I mean, at a high level, when you first think of it, I think some of the interesting things is that now you'll be able to kind of play music based on your own playlist and selections, right? So if myself and I have a roommate who lives with me have, you know, 2 different hip hop playlists, when I say play my hip hop playlist, Amazon will recognize my voice and play my playlist versus playing my roommates or playing just a central playlist between the 2 of us. The same can be said for like their flash briefings, which I love. I'm a big fan of the flash briefings. And one day I actually want to create our own for us here at Digital Home. More details to come. But I think that's interesting. And then also, one of the main reasons that the Amazon Echo does not have the capability to unlock your doors today is because it didn't have voice recognition. They didn't want, like, you know, thieves running around neighborhoods just yelling, Amazon, Alexa, open the garage door, right? That probably wouldn't be good for business.
Doesn't support that.
See, she doesn't support that. Mine's just said it. So I think that's going to be interesting in how they kind of take that voice recognition and utilize it more in the security aspects of things. Whether that's unlocking doors, maybe they'll integrate with things like Ring, and that'll be a way to unlock, you know, to secure your home or to turn off your alarm system. So just some interesting things happening in regards to that. And again, keeping on the Amazon Echo story. The Sonos 1 is now going to have Echo integrated into it, which I think is really interesting. We're here at Digital Home doing a system called the One Day Smart Home, in which we were doing, it has a Sonos 1 in it, but we also were doing an Alexa Dot in it. But now we can kind of merge that and just do a Sonos 1, and you will still get the capabilities of the Echo. So that's going to be really cool, and gives the Echo a lot more sound quality, and gives Sonos a step into the future in terms of their technology, because I think voice is the future of what's going to be happening here in the home. Next, number 3 is Sonos Open API. So previously Sonos was a very closed ecosystem. I mean, you can control Sonos through your Sonos app, and then, you know, Control4, Savant, Crestron, etc. had a way to control Sonos, but it was very kludgy, and you didn't have all of the abilities through it. So a lot of us integrators would go a different direction in terms of getting music into our clients' homes. You know, we'd use the Savant, which they have a good system, right? We use Heos. Well, Heos actually doesn't integrate with Savant, but we'd use other ways to kind of do it. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if these platform companies like Savant, like Control4, like Crestron, start to integrate more with Sonos. I have to say, I don't think Savant will, sadly, just because they seem to be stubborn on things like that. But I think we'll see a lot from Control4 doing that. I think Crestron as well, we'll see doing things more with integrating Sonos, which I think is a very good idea. And I think Savant will come around to it, but I think it may take them a little longer than everybody else. Another thing that's interesting, so Yale, the owner of Yale Locks, the parent company, which it's escaping me right now, the name of them. Let's see, I had it here somewhere, but whatever. I don't remember the. Oh, ASSA.
Everything you need. Starts out very quickly.
ASSA ABLOY, who also owns Yale Locks, is in discussions to buy August Home, which is the smart lock system for like your deadbolt. So August is growing very well. They're making a name for themselves because they're a lot different than a lot of the smart lock systems out there, in that you don't have to change your locks, right? You don't have to go you buy this lock and you just throw it on top of your deadbolt, and you can easily, you know, lock and unlock your door, which is really cool. Actually, I just thought about it. I could do that at my apartment, so that I may. And they recently released the ability to work a lot better with systems like Savant. So I'm really excited for that. and which really makes this an even more exciting thing for me to talk about, because I mean, I'm like I said, I come from the integrator side. I really do find it beneficial to have everything within one. So August being able to be a part of Savant, now being a part of Yale, and kind of just hearing what's going to happen with them in the future is really interesting to me. So I'll keep you guys posted. And then I think that's it. That's all I had. So we talked about Savant smart bulbs, Amazon Echo's voice recognition, Sonos One integrating Amazon Echo, the Sonos Open API, which is going to be really interesting to see what people are going to do with that, and then Yale locks or ASSA ABLOY buying August locks. So that's it for this week's super. What is it? What do I call it? Super Week in Smart Homes, or Swish. Yeah, I'll get that down a little better as we keep going. But that's it for this week. This is going to be dropping not on a Monday or Friday or the beginning or end of a week. This is Tuesday the 24th that I'm recording this. Hopefully try to drop this actually today, and then get something else out to you guys end of the week, early next week, as we continue this Super Week in Smart Home. So you guys have a good one, and I'll chat with you soon.